Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for game number 3, the third and final one between Winstrike and PuckChamp for the Dota 2 Champions League season number 4. All one apiece now. Basically a best of one to see who can actually take this series and gain some points for the start of this league. And it looks like the ban's exactly the same as game number 2. Actually, no, it's not the same. Pangoline's been taken out this time. Winstrike do not want to see it make an appearance, despite the fact that they actually have... Well, they had the second pick. I suppose they just want to make sure that PuckChamp grabbed it first, so they take the bane themselves. I mean, it worked out very well. D2CL did a pretty good job. I wonder if they'll decide to ban out the Mirana again, just to stop that potential combo. We'll have to wait and see. Winstrike immediately snap up the Sand King, so that, I assume, is going to be back into the mid lane for Melojoule. I mean, he had a good performance in that last game. He was like 10, 1 and 10 or something like that. Like, he was doing a lot of work for his team. But unfortunately, the rest of the draft was just... It was terrible. It was a terrible draft. It made no sense. And that's really what ultimately cost them that game. So hopefully they don't make the same mistake this time round. And they're able to keep their cool heads and actually think about a bit of hero synergy. This is a key part of the game. Hero synergy. Teamwork makes the dream work. And they're actually just going to grab the Mirana themselves. I suppose that is partially like a ban pick. You just stop that combo from being found and put into the hands of PuckChamp. But instead they decide to grab the gyrocopter themselves. So that is going to be their position 1 most likely in the hands of Crit. I mean, there was a phase where we were seeing a lot of like position 5 gyro, but as they've already got a Bane, that's a lot less likely. So I wouldn't think it'd be that at all. I need to eat this banana, man. Okay, there's the Dawnbreaker ban. Didn't see that in either game of 1 or 2, despite how highly picked it is from PuckChamp in this current patch.
10 seconds remain. 5 seconds.
I will be more talkative when I actually finish this banana. I'm starving, man. One more bite.
It is Radiance Band.
Right, banana finished. Now I can actually start talking about the game again. Woohoo! Alright, so yeah. Miles and the Dawnbreaker ban. They're from Winstrike. Obviously, the Dawnbreaker highly contested for PuckChamp. Miles and the Bloodseeker gets taken out, so I assume they want to go for like a... I was going to say Pangolier, but that's already banned. They grabbed the Night Stalker instead. Obviously, a very good hero to play up against the Bane. You just get on top of him, keep him silenced, and just pretty much remove him from the fight. Allow the rest of your team to actually do some damage. So yeah, definitely makes sense about going for this one. Wouldn't be too surprised if we see it in the position 5 role for Pantomime. Possibly. As he can be played like that. I mean, obviously, normally when you see this, you think the Sand King will be the off lane. And that the Night Stalker would probably be the 5. But, I mean, this is probably the mid Sand King yet again for Melojoule. So, I still think it'd be a position 5 Night Stalker. I mean, it could be the core. But I don't know if you really need it to be a core. Just for getting on top of the supports. We'll have to wait and see. Still. Next pick to come out from PuckChamp. Obviously, already got their safe lane combo. So probably going to look to pick up their off lane hero now. To play up against possibly Night Stalker and one other. They're actually going to go for the Tide Hunter. Obviously, it's nice to have a Tide every now and then. The big Ravage boy. Just having those like big team fire helmets could really make the game feel a lot easier, because sometimes when you're behind and it just feels like the game is unwinnable. If you've got ultimates, like the Ravage, like Black Hole, anything like that, it can really just sort of, you know, if you get in the right situation, the right time, and you use it correctly, it can completely flip the game on its head. So it's nice to see that in there. And they do also go for the Keeper of the Light. That is actually their most picked hero in this patch, but they haven't picked it for 9 days now. Very, very long time. Obviously, they didn't actually play for all that time, but I'm pretty sure he was nerfed a little bit in this last patch. But even still, PuckChamp are going to stick with it yet again. Well, yeah, I'll say yet again, but they're going to go with it for this game. So I assume that's going to be in the hands of Astral for their position 4. Then Slark is to go for Winstrike as their own position 1 core. So he's able to purge off like the Anchor Smash damage reduction in the lane from the Tide as well as the Gush. So that's not too bad. Can get on top of the Gyrocopter quite easily, you know, just pop when you pop your ultimate, avoid all like the rocket barrage damage and such. So I mean, looking at that, you would assume it would be the position 5 as the last pick, but then that feels a bit weird leaving your 5 as the final hero. I mean, PuckChamp think it is. They removed the Grimstroke, but as I said before, this Night Stalker could easily be put into the position 5 role itself, and they can grab a different off-laner. I mean, actually, how would a position 5 Night Stalker lane up against a Tide Keeper? Probably not very well, mind you. So maybe they wouldn't bother doing that. Meanwhile, PuckChamp looking like they're just after a mid laner. So the Leshrac is the choice to be removed for Winstrike. There is a possibility that the Keeper of the Light could be pushed into the mid. I'm pretty sure I've seen Young G do it before.
5 seconds remain.
So it's definitely not out of his out of his repertoire. He'll be fairly versed in it. D2CL. Just looking for other position 5 as the combo up the Slark quite nicely. Obviously, the Grim's always a fantastic one. Definitely makes sense to remove that as first. Maybe an Abaddon could be kind of nice. Like you can shield up people who get hit by the Nightmare or the Fiend script, even after they get hit from the missile. Works quite well. We do decide to remove the Disruptor. Very good position 5 that brings a lot of teamfight to the table. It's a good hero to work around. So it's the final ban here from Winstrike though. We'll see what other mid laner they are now going to target.
5 seconds.
I mean, the laner is still in the pool. Again, it's one of Young G's favourites. But they do have to pick first though. So they will give Winstrike a little bit of extra time to lay up a better counter mid pick. I'm going to discuss whether they even want to bother removing the laner. They might just leave it in the pool. There's not too many other actual mid heroes that he likes to play. I mean, Lina is obviously the most picked, and then it's followed by the Storm Spirit, but they haven't played that for a very long time. And decided to take out the Ember instead. He was very effective in the last game, so maybe that might be enough just to push him onto Lina now. Could possibly also go for... I was going to say Void Spirit, but then actually... No, he does get dicked hard from the Night Stalker, which ain't too good.
5 seconds remain.
You want to be able to lane up against someone... Well, lane up against the Sand King in the mid, actually, because I forgot it's going to be Mega Jewel in the mid.
Radiant's turn to pick.
And they decided to go for the Invoker. So now they've got that big Ravage Cataclysm setup combination. Let's see if they're actually going to be able to pull it off at all this game, though. Sometimes it's easier said than done. Got to be the right place, right time. Get the nice Ravage off onto at least 3 people to make it really worthwhile.
10 seconds.
And they have actually some really good early game Sunstrike setups. You've got the Nightmare, you've got the Missile. Well, those are the only two. But they're both in the safe lane. So this off lane from the side of Winstrike is going to have to be a little bit cautious. Unless, of course, this Invoker is just going to go for Quas-Wex, which he may need to if he's playing up against the Sand King in the mid. Or do you? Maybe you could just stick with the Exhort build. Exhort Wex, maybe? So you can still use the EMP to try and zone the Sand King out as best as you can. Oh no, they actually go for the Puck. Okay, so that means it's actually going to be the Sand King in the offlane then. Back to a standard position. Yeah, Pantomime is then taking the Night Stalker as the 5. Cheshire Cat on the SK for the 3. And Melojul rolling with the Puck in the mid lane like he did in game number 1. Okay. There's a nice little switch to the last second there. Baiting it in. And it looks like every hero, pretty much, or every player on the hero you'd expect there for the side of PuckChamp. No mix arounds at the last minute. So you got Tidehunter Keeper versus Night Stalker Slark. I mean, maybe the Night Stalker could be a little bit of a nuisance for the Keeper, but I mean, as long as if he hugs around the Tide a decent amount, he should be able to offer him a fairly decent amount of resistance and keep him safe. And the Slark's going to struggle with just getting constantly hit by the Illuminate spam. Doesn't obviously have that much of a HP pool at the start of the game, so it would be brutal to play up against. Especially seeing as how Night Stalker obviously doesn't have any like heals or anything like that. I'm actually going to have to buy a lot of salves. A lot of salves. Yeah, it's the only way that Drachos can have any sort of a time in this lane. Gyro Bane versus Sand King Marana. I mean, you're always going to have the Burrow Strike set up into the arrow. Not like the best setup in the world, but it can be pretty damn effective. I'm not really sure who'd actually dominate that lane too well. I mean, the Gyro should have a fine time, right? Unless he is the one that gets caught out from like the Burrow arrow combo quite a lot. Which I guess maybe the Bane's going to have to be there to get some really impeccably timed Nightmare procs to try and keep him alive. He's going to try his best to anyway. But still, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3 between Winstrike and PuckChamp here for the Dota 2 Champions League Season number 4. Third and final game. We'll see who's going to be able to take it and gain some bonus points for the start of the league. All these are woo spams. No, the PuckChamp team. There is the PuckChamp. But the PuckChamp Hawoo is just far superior. Can't lie. You can't lie. Just best voice line. And it looked like PuckChamp did go for a little bit of a fast play to their own triangle yet again. But no one on the side of Winstrike is going to ambly walk up the high ground this time round. Actually, no, I think it's the other way around, wasn't it? Were they radiant last game? I can't remember if they were actually radiant last game now. It's completely left me. Blanked.
30 seconds to battle.
Who actually put this wall down first? 523. Okay, so the ward was actually placed down first here for the Radiants. Maybe they saw this get placed? I don't know, it depends if Tukalis came like this and placed it there, then the ward wouldn't have spied it out. So maybe it might be kept safe for a fair amount of time. Dracho, thinking about going to snatch away the bounty from behind. Melez coming back, who actually wins the clicking war. Melez does get it. So it looks like it will just end up being, once again, a 2-for-2 even trade on the bounties. Melez wanted to do a high five, but Dracho, man, leaving him hanging. It's brutal. Where's your sportsmanship? Where's the high five? Be a good sport. Slap that hand. Terrible, mate. Terrible. But I think this matchup's pretty similar. Sort of like in the game number 1 when we had the Puck versus the Lina. Like, I don't feel like there's one that really gains that much of an advantage. I mean, maybe Puck is slightly better now. Because the way the Lina was able to dominate the lane is they had those really early burst damage skills just to zone out the opponent. But obviously it doesn't have any of those as the Invoker at the early levels. Just sort of have to use your EMPs and your tornadoes to try and do your best you can. But even still, it's going to be very, very difficult to actually land a EMP blast against the puck.
Somewhere, someone lays blame.
Menace just dives underneath a tier 1 tower, kills the courier. All nice and chill like. Another illuminate blast. Oh, was able to dodge out of it. Might have been lethal damage actually. 200. He was at 160 there. That could have been lethal. I was lucky that he read it and actually went for the move off to the side. Pops the salve. Would it get cancelled? The illuminate just clips him. Stops him from going up to full HP. Now Pantherman just immediately diving after him yet again. This is what his job has to be. Just constantly run at the Keep of the Light, but Astral's doing the right thing. He's hugging up to the tide, making sure he's never just left on his own, and gives 3 hits away to the Night Stalker. Calm but collected. I've always got to be playing carefully. Jesus Christ, they're chasing him really far away. What? Menace, what are you doing? Why is he running so far away from his creeps? That's confusing. I don't know why he goes so far away for. Pantherman does secure up the bottom warp rune at least. Melodule manages to bottle up the top one. I mean, here's the thing about the Invoker though. He doesn't mind too much about the runes at the early parts of the game because he's not a natural bottle building hero. So he doesn't rely on those free refills. But still pretty even this mid. 12 and 2 to the 11 and 1. I'm sure that's probably what's the theme that will carry on going for a fairly long time.
You have done a great service.
Young G, he's just going pure Coswex and no exhort at all. I don't know, man. I always like to see an exhort build on the Invoker. It's really nice. What was that? Did you just blast that? Why? Do you think there was a stack or something? A little confused about what that was about. Now it's strictly going to get a ran down from Takalis. Well, not a ran down, but just harassed out. Pushed as far away back as he can. He has no regen actually. Of Takalis, he actually ends up juking the trees. Oh, nice leap connection there from Yamich. Even kills the big creep and then TP's back to base. Gets that perfect bit of efficiency. Very, very nice. He's doing this bottom. Dracho at the top of CS. 18 and 1 on him right now. He's doing a pretty good job. Not really too much the Medalace has been able to do to hinder his farming capabilities. Actually, pretty much everyone on this, all the cores are so neck and neck. 18 is the top, 15 is the lowest. I don't think we've ever seen such a even spread of CS in a game before. It's always normally there's always someone who gets dicked over. There's always someone, but not this game. Hardly any denies, really.
Finders, keepers.
Yamich was just there to secure up the water room. But still, Melodule was able to secure the ball on himself, get those extra refills yet again.
The wages of fear.
Carlos even gets a nice little cheeky bounty rune still. And a little bit of extra bonus gold, which you cannot argue with at all. I'm able to illuminate. Oh, leapt just in a minute of time there from Dracho to avoid that. Obviously, he's running very dry on mana though. Just a couple of S and Swift stacks getting pulled up here.
That was good of you.
Just tickling really the tide at this stage. Never illuminate. Right, does hardly anything. Didn't even move his HP bar. What the hell? What was that? I suppose it wasn't a very well charged illuminate. Good, just using up the flat cannons to farm up the neutrals as well as the lanes. Oof, Dracho again nearly gets caught. He's just endlessly having to run away in this lane. Just doesn't have a moment's bit of respite.
Thanks for that.
Another illuminate. Is he going to get hit by this station? He's able to avoid that. Keeps the salve alive as well. Going to be back up to full HP before you know it. Still neck and neck in this mid lane. 33 to 3 to 30 to 5. There is level 6 now on Melodule, so he has the options for like a Dream Call rotation. Maybe try and set up for a kill onto one of his side lanes. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I still really thought that this would be an Exhort build Invoker this game. I am mistaken, though. I do not know my Dota. Gets lucky with haste rune. He's actually going to immediately head down towards... Ooh, he's going to immediately head down towards the bot room with this. It's just Dracho here. Doesn't have any other support. Meta's running into the trees. He's baiting this out a little bit. Tornado, EMP, we get a collection as well as the Illuminate, which gets the finish. And Astral actually ends up finding the first blood. It looked like Pantomime went towards the mid to try and set up for a gank of his own. And this ended up just abandoning his carry. Just gave away a free kill. At least the money gate went over towards Astral of all people. I mean, actually, I say that, but a Kotl is just such a flash farming hero that giving him money is always a scary thing. And looks like they're going to find a cheeky grab here onto Young G. The Dream Call does run out, but the Tornado does get a nice double connection. Carlos rotates in here as well. Illuminate from Astral. So both supports showing their face just to help out. Ooh, that was an unfortunate double clarity usage. Always feels rough when that happens. Let's just try to farm up the creep camps, but Pantomime being a real damn annoyance as normal. Chacho already on his level 7. My crit just hit his 6. So a little bit of a XP advantage so far for the Slark. But definitely worse in terms of actual net worth though. 500 gold behind. Pretty big chunk. Oh, arrow into the epicenter. Does get the connection. It's going to be a lot of damage. And Carlos, all he can do is just stand there and wait. He did have the nightmare, but he didn't actually decide to use it to like try and disjoint the arrow or something like that. Just ended up just really letting him die. Maybe if he used that nightmare a little bit sooner, he could have saved him. No, it was an awkward situation to be in for sure. Melojul is top of the CS. And second in terms of net worth, just slightly behind Melez. What sort of build he's going to go for? He's got the Witchblade queued up. So once again, going to be skipping the standard bot's first item. Don't know if that's going to be the same story though for Young G. He's already got his Urn of Shadows online, as well as the Hand of Midas queued up. Just the recipe away. We'll see if he's actually going to start making any other rotations. He has made one, obviously, down towards the bot. That was just because he got the haste rune. Not really been bothered trying to make any other sort of moves. And as I say that, looks like he's going to bump into Yamich here. They see each other. And Young G was actually the one that got a little bit spooked, ended up running away in the opposite direction. Well, it does get the connection to Cheshire. To Carlos, though, sort of split his focus onto Yamich as well. The focus on Cheshire, the EMP does get the connection, but even still, he's got a tiny bit of mana left to work with. Not really enough to do anything important, though. The sleep gets taken off there from Yamich. And it looks like PuckChamp have just disengaged. They can't find anything out of that, so it ends up being a wasted rotation there from Young G. And we're in the mid. Pantomime's made a move of his own. Wanted to maybe use the Dream Call from Melojul. He's hit his own level 9 now. Well, touch it out. Ooh, up top. Actually, no, Young G did hang around. They actually found the pick off onto Yamich. It's not too bad in the end. They used the Fiend script for it. You know, kill's a kill. At this stage of the game, with the early parts, there's not really any need of just holding on to those big ultimates. Like, if you see an opportunity to get a free kill, just do it. You know, if it's a Ravage or whatever, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to try and wait for some big 3-4 man teamfight ultimate at the early parts. Just ends up wasting it. Nope. See Astral farming away. Obviously most farmed in terms of all of the supports, 2.4k. He's just the recipe away from having his 4-staff up, which would definitely help when dealing with the Slark. I imagine they probably need a second one. You should never just have a single 4-staff against the Slark. It's such a key item to remove the leash effect. Which was the support now? Okay. Yeah, I assume then the Bane's build one as well. He's got the fluffy hat in his inventory. Oh, they actually found the Dream Core as well as the epicenter drop onto Young G. No chance of surviving that double ultimate drop. Ends up being a free kill. It's further just bumping down this game. Now bottomed farmed of all of the cores. Not a place you want to be for a mid lane hero, for sure. I mean, he's still yet to actually get his hand on Midas online. Maybe once he gets that, it might start balancing out a little bit. But now Astral's just moved himself up towards the top lane. And with the Astral spam, he's just going to keep both of those two at bay for as long as he possibly can. Look at it, it's just so little commitment. You just drop that one spell, whole creep camp dies. Drop the spell, pretty much an entire creep wave dies. Actually, we're going to TP down to the bottom here from Cheshire Cat. They see Melee's farming up in the trees. Do they have enough between just these two heroes? Jacho is just off to the side, but he's just finishing up some creeps at the moment. Now Pandemon, going to pop his ultimate as well as the silence. Going to try and focus onto Melee. Meledju was there for the cut-off. This is a tanky hero to find the stun, but the Purge is there. Crack Shadow's completely negates it. And he's still like full HP, full mana. So ends up being a little bit wasted time there for a few members of Winstrike. At least Dracho didn't actually decide to get involved. Should just keep his head nice and level. Just went inside hitting some creeps instead, as you do. Just forces him away with the rocket. Obviously, it doesn't really do much to a Slark because he's got plenty of time to react to purge that stun off. Hanamidas still 145 gold away here for Young G. And then I assume he's going to go straight in for the Aghanim Scepter, right? I think that's all like a necessary item if you've got a Tidehunter in your team and actually get that big Cataclysm Ravage combo online, because otherwise it just seems very, very wasted. Got to utilize these big ass team fight stuns as best as you can. They're just going to immediately go into the tier 1 in the mid as well. Melee's just going to happily tank it up. They did lose their tier 1 at the top though. But even still, Melee's not even any teammates around to actually hit the tower. He's just, you know, sat there tanking it. The power of a tide. Just such a menace. Still though, 3 members of Winstrike have actually gone for a smoke up. And D2CL will be the first one to fall here. Actually, not even done yet. With the orb, he gets the jump immediately on towards Crit as well. The epicenter gets dropped. No save coming in for the rest of the squad. Ends up being a double kill. I thought maybe that D2CL tanking that gank would have kept him alive, but the orb jump forwards with the Dream Call, the epi. Just too much to deal with. Judger actually getting Crit, sorry, getting pretty damn close to his Aghanim Scepter. Only 2,000 gold away now. Which is really nice. 14 minutes in with Chrysalis already online. May make sense, seems how he is the top net worth hero. Another tier 1 push in this mid lane. Just Melee's with the Relacrity, just doing all the work. And not a single member for Winstrike even getting close to this tower. Perfectly resigned to just let it fall. We're on the bottom though. Looks like Pantomime does get caught out from Crit and Young G. Ends up being a free kill. Just going to help accelerate Crit towards that Aghanim Scepter as much as he can. Especially Young G. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Hand of Midas off cooldown. That's not good. That's really not good. There we go. That's very unfortunate. That's like full 10 seconds. 10 seconds. That's a long time for Hand of Midas. He's actually going in for the BKB, so he's not even going to commit for the Ags to get the Cataclysm on the line. I don't know. That seems kind of weird to me. Melee's just tapping onto Cheshire Cat as well. Pushed him away from his creeps. That's my area. Stay away. Don't want you here.
Where's my pension?
Jacho closing in towards his Diffusal Blade as well. Just the recipe away now. About 600 gold off. And with the Echo Saber as well. Could be the opportunity for them to make like a little move. As it is just a small power spike, but it's a power spike nonetheless. And notice they've actually just found a free grab here onto Astral underneath the tier 2 tower.
Open to your right.
It's a pretty nice kill to find. He's actually doing quite nicely in terms of farm. Closing in towards the actual cause of the game. So just about 1,000 gold ahead of Yamich at this point. Ooh, actually down at the bot. Epicenter gets used just to find the kill onto Takalis. There is actually the hot snap to keep him alive for now, as well as the cooldown. It might make some space. The Bane can actually make his way out of this one. And it looks like he will earn a shadow. He's ticking him down, but he's going to be able to survive it. The Dream Core as well was off the mark. Didn't connect onto anybody. Takalis still just getting caught off to the side here. One Void Touch. Not going to be enough. And now Yamich getting run out as well from Melez, who does have Ravage available, but he just did not want to pop it at all. And it allows both teams to just fall back. Not a single casualty. I'm still going to carry on pushing forwards. Start knocking onto the tier 2. There is a glyph available, and they will be forced to use it. Otherwise, that tower would have ended up taking quite a beating. And Creep Wave is coming in, but I mean, by the time that arrives, there'll be plenty of opportunity for Winstrike to heal back up, return to the area, and maybe set up some sort of defense. But actually, I say that. No Dream Call for 30, no Epicenter for 60, and PuckChamp still have Ravage unused, as well as a Pipe of Insight. Nice tornado connection. Disjoints Chestercat's Storm, Sandstorm. And yeah, the tier 2 will just fall for free. Especially with the help of the Agnum Scepter there from Crit. Getting those double hits. Tier 2 gone at 17.5 minutes into the game. Very, very nice timing. And now they can start stealing away the outposts. And slowly progress the XP advantage into their favor. As has actually been in Winstrike's advantage for a very long time. 4 levels. 4 whole extra levels for Winstrike at the moment, which is absolutely insane. But this will, I imagine, slowly start teetering back the other way. Neither team's actually even whiffed Roshan yet. Not really on the cards. I say that, and it actually ends up getting scouted out there from PuckChamp. That was weird. Okay, Young G is starting to put more points into Exort now. I really think he just needs to just skip the BKB. I mean, I know it's fantastic. I am up against the Night Stalker, so it stops you from just getting perma-silenced. As well as like the silence from the putt, stun from the Sand King. It does do a lot, actually. It does do a lot. But I mean, if you're relying on your team being the initiation, so the Ravage should really be going off before you get jumped on yourself, and you'll be able to get that Cataclysm off every single time. But I suppose he just wants that little bit of safety, you know, security net to fall back onto. You know what they say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you trip, you're making a stale omelette. And Melis is now going in for his Blink Dagger. I can't remember which team it was. I was casting a game, I think it was over a week ago now. 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? Might have been close to 3 weeks ago now. And there was a Tide Hunter who got like a 4-staff, a pipe, and then started building a helmet in the overall of 30 minutes and just never got a Blink Dagger. And it was terrible. It was terrible. This hero is built for a Blink Dagger. Like, it's the best item for him. Without fail.
Denied.
They will be building one. He's a sensible man. Meanwhile though, Dream Call, connection onto Young G with 3 other heroes jumping on top of him. He will fall pretty damn easily. Carlos going to go for the sleep here. He should be able to get this kill onto Yamich with the Gush and an Anchor Smash. He actually gets a leap out, going to pop his ultimate, but not going to do anything. He will still fall. Pantomime just gets a free escape away, so it actually ends up being a 1-for-1. A definitely favourable trade there for Winstrike, taking away that mid laner yet again. Just further making Young G regret his life in this one. So what's the farm of Astral actually looking like at the moment? He's got 4-staff, and he's going straight in for the Cypher Vice, which is going to be extremely handy, as their team is definitely lacking in actual CC at the moment. It's just really Ravage, and then Home and Missile and Sleep, but Home and Missile isn't really that reliable. And Sleep can screw with your own team. The Astrals is pretty good. The Subify, sorry, but it's good to deal with the Slark. If you can get that Hex before he gets in his other spells off.
Dire's bottom tower is in danger. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's courier has been killed. Dire's bottom tower.
Well, the final tier 1 for Winstrike gets taken off the map. There's a couple of heroes just sort of watching it happen. Nothing they could do on their own. As the rest of the squad was still off farming. Which is what they should be doing. Dracho still just 1,000 gold behind Crit at the moment. Not quite sure what he's trying to build into. He hasn't got anything queued up at the moment, but he has 2.2 thousand gold.
Dire's bottom tower
Sometimes
is under attack.
a lot of Slark players love to go for like the Aghanim Scepter, so you get that heavy amount of maneuverability in the fights. Allows you to jump in, jump out with ease.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
Maybe he just wants to go for more DPS, perhaps? Like an MKB, perhaps? I don't know. We've got the BKB queued up. Interesting choice. The Fiend's Grip there with the Sunstrike. Meteor on top. Oh, the arrow. He gets tanked up, but actually, Carlos ended up cancelling out the jump himself. I think he thought the kill was already found. Metal, with the escape into the trees, the Illuminate not going to be able to find him. He gets another jaunt all the way out. Is there going to be any way to scout this? No, there's not. Asher just has to go for the TP back to base. Maybe he could have went for like a blind Illuminate into the trees, but he just didn't decide to. So Metal escaping with the sliver of HP. Very, very nice. That was more of a misplay, really, from PuckChamp, to be honest, rather than a big outplay from Melajul. The Young G closing in towards his BKB now. He's about, what's that, 500 gold away? And then we have that online. Might make him a bit more comfortable with taking some of these fights with the rest of his team. Or at least when he just gets gone on, which he has been several times now. Just the main target of a lot of hatred from Winstrike. I'm going to go for a smoke play. The left crit out of it, maybe just try and bait him out and not make this too obvious. But Carlos Smoke breaks up the high ground, just charging up there. Yamish just immediately leaps away, does not want to get involved. Carlos though just cannot get close enough. Oh, the arrow does get the connection, but the ward got killed before that though. Now the rest of Winstrike has evolved. Meadows is in deep, all on his own at the moment. The side's going to be coming out here. Going to keep Meadows controlled as much as he possibly can. The 4-star backwards. Crit's already into the backlines, being onto Dracho. He does still have his ultimate to use. Oh, Pantomime survives with a sliver of HP. And PuckChamp just disengaged, and nobody actually ends up dying out of that engagement. Two people on Winstrike got incredibly low. Well, they knew when to call it quits, when to fall back. I thought maybe that the Ravage could have got dropped from melees a little bit, well, just a tool, but he was just holding on to it for the perfect time. Okay, now Young G has enough to BKB now. Okay. So that's going to be coming out. I know he must queue up Ags next, right? It's just essential. It's just essential. Already crit though in the pit. Beating in onto Roche. There's a few members of Winstrike still in the vicinity though. So Yamich is going to scout this out with the arrow relatively soon. Yeah, well, they actually get the arrow onto Meles of all people. Is there going to be enough time for Winstrike to get in? Yamich jumping into the field on his own. Can he get this kill? No, he can't. He dies before Roshan does. It was a valiant attempt, but this does not pan out. Ends up just giving away a kill towards Crit as well as the Roche and the Aegis. Insult to injury. And Crit going in for the Satanic as well as his next item. Wants to help just give himself a lot of extra survivability. Dracho getting run out here from Astral. Sunstrike off the mark. But he actually just pops this BKB to go for the TP out. Doesn't want to risk not using it and then just dying for free.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's courier has been
Still the Skadi queued up for Dracho next. Still a fair chunk of gold away from it though. Only 500 away from his first Ultimate Orb. I imagine there's going to be a clash before that mark. Talking about a clash. Pantomime gets caught on the completely wrong side of the map. Oh, they have already revealed. Okay, they do have the reveal. He's even going to pop his ultimate. It's very ambitious to think he can escape from that, and he ends up dying. Oh, Dracho. Nice use of the blast there from Ashwell to get him hit by that connection. Oh, the Sunstrike just slightly off the mark. It was a little bit higher. They could have found it. They're actually going to drop down the Ravage, but it didn't matter. Dark Pact was already used from Dracho. So we've been waiting 25 minutes for the first Ravage of the game, and it does absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's rough. That's rough. Oh well. Just another 2 minutes to wait, and I'm sure we get to be treated to another one. Ooh, Cheshire Cat. Oh, just managed to get the TP off for the homing missiles targeted up. Cypher Vice just got completed up there for Astral as well. Bang. They get the information. They saw him hit onto absolutely nothing, so they realise that they're smoked right now. This is perfect information. Melee sort of gets hit by the fuse away, but immediately blink daggers backwards. No damage to cancel it out. Oh, dead. Ducalis? I think he knew they were smoked. I don't know why he was heading over here. He's still alive. Gets one brain sap off. Gonna try and delay this as much as he can. Gets a nightmare. Is he going to be able to pop anything else with one face grip? He's going to drop it. He does the connection, but doesn't matter. He still ends up dying first. Meladrill getting targeted out. The BKB popped as well from Cheshire Cat. They get the kill onto Ashwell as well. It's 2 deaths so far for PuckChamp. Absolutely nothing else. Sunstrike misses completely. And Dracho's going to change target over towards the Uncheese. Got too many people around him. He falls as well. It's just 2 members left for PuckChamp. What can they do at all? Yamich maybe going to die. No, even he manages to escape. And now the nice double stun with the Burrow Strike. The first life of Crit has been taken out. Menace try and run away, but he's not going to be able to make it. The arrow, oh, it was timed nicely, but the BKB was there from Crit. So at least he's able to survive. Just barely. But even still, technically, it's a full 5-man wipe coming out from Winstrike. They don't lose anybody in return. Just fantastically played from them.
I'll take your tribute.
I mean, that was the downside. They didn't have Ravage. It was on cooldown because it was completely wasted in the mid. And that was not good. That was not good at all. I'm sure PuckChamp's going to be shaken from that. They were in a pretty good standing up until that point. I mean, even still, it's still terrible. Okay, well. Whoosh. Look at that. Charts immediately fly straight back up into the favor of Winstrike yet again. Full 5 level advantage. I mean, the gold and win probably is relatively similar. But even still, any momentum you go over towards the other side is just always going to make the game more difficult for you. Okay, still trying to go in towards the Satanic next. Only 600 gold? Yeah, about 600 gold away. And that'll definitely make him a hell of a lot more survivable. But then, as soon as he has that item online, it's just a matter of lacking damage, really. Ducalis and Cheshire Cat just running right past each other. I don't know if Cheshire Cat saw Ducalis or not. He might have done. He's just trying to hide in the trees. Wait for the next creep wave and cut that one up. Yeah, he'll pop out now. Just secure it up, creeps. Cut the wave, fall back into the trees. Probably TP back down to the bot lane, maybe? Actually, no. TP's up towards the top, joining in the rest of his squad. There's still Menace a crit, hitting onto the tier 2. The glyph is there. And now with that creep wave cut, I'm not sure if they can really carry on pushing onto this tower anymore. But actually, never mind. The rest of the Winstrike are coming in here. Dracho can lead things off, hitting onto crit to start off with. The cooldown does get popped in there, but the BKB is going to negate all that damage. Bane gets completely segregated from the rest of his team. He will fall. And now it's just crit. 1 versus 5. He goes for the TP out. Realised there was no way they could turn that situation around. Everyone else is in full retreat. And it looks like they will actually successfully make it. Pantomime was on the hunt there for Astral, but just couldn't get there fast enough. I suppose that's not too bad. Most nice Stalker armor use. Ooh, actually, they found Melez. Can't be into the 4-star. Just barely takes it down to low ground, but the leap gets connected there from Dracho. Melez is still in a spot above. Another 4-star back towards his base. He needs another spot if he can. No, the Dream Cold denies it, as well as a point blank arrow. Phantom Pebbles diving into the base. And actually, Dracho's diving on his own. Gonna pop his own, but just focusing on to crit. Delusional, forwards, Metal, even jumping involved down himself. The crit is going to turn around. The Satanic was already used. The Feast Grip, though, he's doing a little bit of work, but not enough. That's the control they do. They find the kill onto Dracho as well as Yamit. Crit finally ends up dropping down. But Cheshire Cat, he's going for the TP out, and he will manage to make it with the BKB. So a little bit of over-aggression there from the old Slarky boy. I mean, it's a slight gold advantage. They lose out on experience. I mean, they do just trade position ones. It's a bit clunky. I mean, I think that really favors PuckChamp. Seems like they're starting to fall behind a little bit, right? I believe so. Well, I mean, really, I could just call it a stalemate. I think that's just a complete stalemate. Just too much balls. Too much balls for old Dracho. 1v5 the world. Maybe when he's got like 6 item slots and 2 passives added, you know, everything else, maybe you can then, but until that point, you've got to rely on your teammates a little bit. Oh, Astral, maybe going to get gone on here, Metal. Nice use of the Hex to hold him back. Actually, jump towards the Menace there with the Ravage. They can try and lock it off as much as possible. They get the kill onto the Night Stalker. But I mean, that is Ravage used just for the kill onto the position 5. It's just not worth it. Really need some better Ravages to come out here from melees in this game, because otherwise it's really going to start costing his team very heavily. It looks like Ags, though, is about to be finished up for Young G. Only 180 gold away. It's probably when he just gets these 2 creeps. Oh no, he actually just ends up selling a Null Talisman. He wants it now. No, I don't think he really needs it now, seeing as that Ravage is still on cooldown for like another 2 minutes. Greedy man. Oh, Melez. Maybe he overstepped his mark a little bit. Gets hit by the arrow. A lot of follow-up. Does get the 4-star backwards. The Kraken Shells is doing so much work. In comes Tornado. Does get a clip to Dracho, but he just pops his own BKB in the Dark Pack. He's able to carry on going. Melez is so desperate to get himself away. The leap, it does get a collection, but it doesn't matter. 2 more taps is all he needed. And down goes the Tide yet again. I mean, he started off at the start of this game, like, top farmed and everything. He was an absolute unit. But actually, it's not even done yet. Cheshire Cat's found another sudden initiative onto crit with the follow-up of the arrow. And Pantomim's into the backlines trying to get the silent side. Is there enough trouble for crit? No, he's able to survive. He gets the BKB and the Satanic off. He's going to stand his ground. And Pantomim's the only casualty for this one. The Rocket is going to chase down Dracho, but it doesn't matter. The Dark Pact is there to cancel out. Maybe they're thinking about going in for another engagement. Both teams will fall back. So just a 1-for-1 trade in the end. A little bit of over-aggression yet again from Winstrike. I mean, it looked close. If they had just a little bit more damage to find that kill onto crit when he got hit by the arrow stun, it could have gone very, very nice for him. Unfortunately, he's just so tanky. 3k HP. Building in towards the Daedalus next as well. 1,000 gold away from the Demon Edge. About 500 gold, actually. 1,500 in total for the whole item. Those PuckChamp are all collapsed over towards this top. I think they were expecting some people to be in the triangle, but they weren't. Instead, Winstrike look like they're gathering up in the lane. If they got a smoke? Yeah, they do. They're good for a smoke now from Yamich. They draw the line to head back into their own triangle. And it is where PuckChamp are heading, but they have the advantage here. They got 2 very nicely placed observer wards. Maybe still PuckChamp do decide to fall back. The jump forwards, nice double stun from Cheshire Cat as well as the silence arrow, but still crit. He's actually able to get his BKB off. Beam grip as well, holding back Cheshire Cat. He's got silence, so it does cancel out for a little bit. It allows him to get the BKB off, but he should be able to disengage. Dracho, though, just stand his ground, beating into the gyro as much as he possibly can. The 4-star trying to get him out of a better situation. Out come the Ravage long last with the Cataclysm. They do get the kill to Cheshire Cat. At long last, the first step of the game here for the Sand King. The only person to fall, though, and that is the big wombo combo from PuckChamp already used. And it looks like Winstrike are ready to go again. Buyback actually from Cheshire Cat. Wants to get in there to help the rest of his team out. He gets a stun onto crit off to the sideline there. Now the ultimate from the Night Stalker as well. Wants to keep chase as best as they can. Nice Dream Core connection there from the Puck. Gets it onto 3. The lockdown and Pantomime's immediately in there to keep them sideouts yet again. Nice push right forward to Cheshire Cat at the epicenter. They find to Carlos. Melez is completely separated. The rest of his team's coming in. Crit pushes Cheshire Cat and Dracho away. And Cheshire Cat just dies. That's a dieback for him. And Dracho is almost back off cooldown. Beating into crit. The 4-star still making more space. Still Pantomime is able to find Asher off to the side. Dracho, he's got a sliver of HP. Another 4-star. There's still this constant chase. It looks like he's going to be able to get out of there. Pantomime though. Oh, wow. How was that in range? Absolutely global nightmare. And the cooldown finds the final tap. What? Yamich also dies. I think he died to a missile somewhere across the map. The Dracho getting re-involved yet again. He finds the tide. Meladrill also here. As Poppy's BKB trying to stand his ground. He pops the talent, but it doesn't even get a hit off in time. He still ends up dying. And Dracho's just non-stop. He will not go back. He wants your blood. He wants you now. But the creeps, they cut him off. The real MVP for PuckChamp this game. You can't even tip him. Absolutely nothing. Ducalis, he's trying to run. He's trying to juke for the save of his life. He's not going to be able to make it. Dracho, they actually get the finish there. Young G immediately snaps the gem away from him, though. He knew exactly what to do there. So 2 gems in the hands of Young G, which is fantastic. Taking that away from the hands of Winstrike, but even still, I think Winstrike are kind of happy with how that went down. I mean, it was a dieback on the Bane, but it was also a dieback on the Sand King. It just doesn't quite tell you, but he definitely brought back in that last fight. Just so much death everywhere. And Dracho's now even just going to try and go into the pit and solo this Roche on his own. Sunstrike does scout it out, but it's still another 30 seconds without the gyro, and without him, there's no way PuckChamp can take this fight. Even if they get like a 5-man Ravage Cataclysm combo, there's just no way to actually finish anybody off.
Finders, keepers.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Gotcha. Maybe found another one. Young G has to pop his invis, but immediately Pantomime's in there yet again. Got the silence on top of Astro, holding back the keeper alive as best as he can. There's going to be the EMP, tries to get the connection, but with the cooldown, just forces Winstrike to do a U-turn, head back the way they came. Well, it would have been a good fight for him to take, especially since how Crit had just TP'd up towards the top. Actually, no, he was already there, wasn't he? He done the cooldown. Never mind. Ignore me. Ags nearly online here for Melez as well. Obviously, he won't have enough for a buyback if he does choose to just get the IM outright. I'm not sure if he's too fussed about.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
As Winstrike slowly siege onto tier 2 of the bot, they will take it down. No sort of response from PuckChamp to try and keep it alive. And they're actually going to go for an immediate smoke play now as well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But it's like PuckChamp just knew. They all immediately fall back into their base. Not wanting to hang around outside just in case any sort of move like that was coming about. So maybe Winstrike just going to be skirting around the edges, see what they can find. Are they going to bump into anyone? I don't know. Chacho off to the side. Will spot Melez. Tries to get the lead, but immediate Blink Dagger reaction yet again. Brings his Tidehunter to safety. This is like some serious high ground protection coming out here from PuckChamp. You just get Gush plus Illuminate, and that will instantly kill any creep wave. I mean, maybe the catapults will survive, but that's about it. I mean, it'll be enough to remove backdoor protection for sure. Correct, trying to go into the butterfly next. Will definitely help avoid some of the hits coming out from the Slug. He's trying to build into a Abyssal as his next item.
Shadow, take us.
Still, PuckChamp, they're just too afraid to leave the base. They're so cautious. Especially seems how they're fighting up against the Aegis as well. There's another about 1 minute and 45 seconds left, and then that will be taken away. Maybe then they'll feel a little bit more comfortable actually leaving the base. Well, they were picking out Cheshire Cat then. It would have been a nice kill to go for. He was completely on his own. Unfortunately, they don't just quite revolve onto him fast enough. Cheshka actually nearly got his overwhelming Blink Dagger online himself. I need about 726 gold. But I say only about. The exact fucking number. Dodoy.
Regeneration.
I really like as well how with this new spectator overlay that it gives you all the actual timings for spectators. Like before you just have to work it out. Like, yeah, it's so much nicer now. I mean, the only downside of the bug is that, like I said, you cannot left-click anything apart from players and player-controlled units. Actually, no, you can't even left-click player-controlled units. Like, it's really dumb. You have to highlight everything. Doesn't make any sense. I hope it gets fixed soon. Apart from that, you know, it's a bug I can live with. It's a minor one. It doesn't seem like Winstrike are really that eager to use this Aegis. It's pretty much about to run out, just completely wasted. I think they got like a couple of pickoffs with it, if that. Very underwhelming one indeed. I'm not quite sure what it is they're actually waiting for. Okay, the Aegis now times out. I know they were grouping up to go for a smoke, but I guess they decided against it. But the rest of PuckChamp have had a little bit of confidence to leave their base. Refresher Orb actually just got finished up there for Young G. So the double Cataclysm is just around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. Big burst of damage. Refresher also for Melee's coming up next. Just to help secure that they actually all get hit by it. PuckChamp actually moving outside their base right now. All 5 heroes, they ran the jump there, immediately on towards that Cheshire Cat. But the silence is going to just destroy a lot of this. The Cataclysm, he gets popped! He didn't even use his Ravage! Complete misplay. He does have the fresh shard if he wants to go for the re-engagement of it, but it doesn't matter. Immediately just pantomimes into the back lines, trying to get the grab onto the support as best he can. Now Crit, he's standing his toe-to-toe up against Dracho, but it doesn't matter, he's just going to die. He couldn't do anything at all. He's going to fall. Finally, the Ravage comes out, and the second Cataclysm, it does a bit of damage, but it's not enough to get anybody at this point. This is just a complete disaster for PuckChamp. They're falling apart at the seams. Mass buybacks. Can they even keep Young G alive with all of these? Pantomim's getting pretty damn low. And Crit's going to be able to chase them away, but they're not going to be able to find anything else. Melee's, though, is still alive inside his own jungle. We'll get the nice 4-star down to low ground, but it doesn't matter. Pantomime's keeping chase. As well as Yamich and Melajul. And they will die as well. And back on the mid. Crit, he's just dead. He's dead. That's a dieback. Gone for 2 minutes. No Bane, no Invoker for a minute as well. Just the Keeper of the Light and the Tide left to keep this high ground. I mean, they are the two that can deep push waves very easily with Illuminate and the Gush. But it's not going to be enough. It's just not going to be enough. They could very well just go tier 4s after taking down this building. So they are actually going to decide to take down the barracks instead. I mean, they're sort of positioned like they want to go from tier 4s. Maybe they just want to get a little bit of security. But they know it was a dieback for the Gyro. And really, without him, where is all the damage output from PuckChamp going to come from? There isn't any. Like, Ravage is on cooldown as well for 70 seconds. The combo completely whiffed. They really could have just ended the game rather than going for Megas. Said Megajewel, he does find the grab there on towards Astral. Oh, Dagon even online for the Puck as well. Rip your PuckChamp prediction. Yeah, sorry, Neon Trim. It could have worked. They just done goofed too many times. The buyback did come out from Astral, but what's they going to do? Mega's already secured. Still no Gyro for 50 seconds. Still no Ravage combo for another 35. Look at that. Immediately the jump falls yet again. There's a couple of 4-star trying to make Young G out of there, but it's not going to be enough at all. He's going to die as well. And immediately buyback another one. And it looks like Winstrike are finally going to fall back. They're just going to settle. And they will leave. Ooh. Ooh, I'm being called as a stand-in. Hang on. Sorry about that. Getting called as a stand-in for the game I'm meant to be casting later on. I mean, really, the game should have started like 12 minutes ago. The series just dragged on for quite a fair bit of time.
Помогите, помогите, помогите.
It's like saying I'm a carry player. That's not good. If they're looking for a carry player, that's definitely not who I am. But even still, like, what can PuckChamp do? They need the dream combo. They need absolutely everything to go flawlessly. They need like at least a 4-man Ravage into the double Cataclysm, and you just pray that that is actually enough damage to find a few kills. I mean, sure, if they get that big of a Ravage with crit hitting onto everyone with the flat cannons, then it probably will find a few kills. But even still, Winstrike back into the Roche Pit. Going to be able to secure up this third one with the Refresher Shard in it. Something that PuckChamp would have loved to get themselves. But I assume that they'll probably give this over to Megajul? Yeah, I assume they give it over towards Melajul.
Silence.
Who do they give it to? Is it... Wait, did they give it to the slot? Okay, Dracho has the Refresh Shot. I suppose then he gets his double ultimate. So he's going to be pretty goddamn hard to kill. Aegis plus his ult, plus a second ult, plus BKB, plus double BKB. Yeah, how are you going to find this kill? Plus just casual, 3.9k HP. Pretty standard for an Agi hero, right? I was kind of hoping that they put all these symbols in underneath players' names and stuff, that they would include one for the Refresher Shard. That would be kind of cool. Actually, I suppose it's in his backpack. Maybe it actually shows if it's in his inventory. We'll have to wait and see if he actually ends up swapping it in at all. But even still, Winstrike, not making sure they make any hasty decisions. Playing this nice and carefully. And skirting around for the outside. It's just... They're just looking for some sort of opportunity. Anyone on the side of PuckChamp step out. They will go for the Moonlight Shadow, but there is plenty of Sentry Walls laying around to give them plenty of detection. And actually, Drescher just starting things up immediately on towards crit. Held in place with another leash with the 4-star's going to make some space for him. Cheshire actually jumps in on its own. Another leash connection from crit. I think there's a second 4-star somewhere. Finally, out comes the Cataclysm. There was no Ravage beforehand. Finally, the Ravage comes out. It doesn't connect onto anybody. It's completely useless. Crit still going to fall down for 100 seconds. And GG is immediately called from Tukalis. They know there is not a hope in hell's chance of bringing this game around. Another Cataclysm does get the kill with the Cheshire Cat at least. But very little consolation prize indeed. As Winstrike, they end up coming out on top, 2-1 into their favour. And PuckChamp, they just made so many mistakes. Like, their game started off quite nicely, but they never did a decent Ravage Cataclysm combo. Not a single time, which is always a bit sad to see. But even still, well played to Winstrike. Very well-deserved victory. If you guys have enjoyed this game, my cast, please think about following me on my Twitch channel, YouTube. Any help I get, I thoroughly appreciate. So hopefully, I'll see you all for the next series, wherever that is. But yeah,